very good afternoon and a warm welcome to P&B TV. Thank you for joining us at this time. You're watching news analysis on Politics and Business Television. The top stories. Dangote Refinery, too vital to fail, says Peter Obi. North ranks high in poverty, illiteracy, insecurity, says Arewa Consultative Forum. Toby Amusan named Nigeria's flag bearer for Paris 2024 Olympics. Details shortly. Is it Amusan? 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has voiced his support for the Dangote Refinery, urging the Nigerian government to resolve ongoing conflicts and provide necessary assistance for the project's success. In a statement on Tuesday via X, Obi emphasized the critical importance of the refinery to Nigeria's economic future. He stressed that the issue transcends political affiliations and personal governances and is fundamental about Nigeria's economy and the well-being of its citizens. Highlighting the refinery's potential impact, Obi said the refinery has the potential to generate approximately $21 billion in annual revenue and create over 100,000 jobs, with numerous additional positive impacts on the economy. He underscored the strategic importance in addressing Nigeria's fuel crisis and boosting foreign exchange earnings. The Arewa Consultative Forum has said the North remains essentially a work in progress, saying all the indices that track human progress, most of all poverty, illiteracy, health and security of life and property, tend to place the North at the deep end of the trough. This came as the forum dissociated itself from the planned nationwide protest against bad governance, saying it was ill-timed and counterproductive. Chairman of the ACF, Mamman Usman, who spoke yesterday during a visit to Governor Ubasani of Kaduna State, noted that regarding the planned national protest, the ACF national president said the forum is not a party to it and will not support it as it is ill-timed and counterproductive. He said the visit to promote a deeper and wider conversion around the crisis of insecurity. Chairman of the ACF, Maman, who spoke yesterday during a visit to Ubasani and poverty ravaging northern Nigeria. And now to sports, where the world record holder Toby Amusan has been selected as the country's flag bearer for the opening ceremony of the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. This appointment marks a historic moment for Nigerian athletics as Amusan becomes the first track and field athlete in 2 decades to receive this honor. A tweet by Making of Champions on social media platform X on Tuesday said, Toby Amusan has been named as Nigeria's flag bearer for the opening ceremony of Paris 2024 Olympics. She becomes the first athlete from athletics in 20 years since Mary Onyali at the Athens 2004 Games to have such honors. Amusan, known for her outstanding performances in the 100-meter hurdles, will lead the Nigerian contingent during the Parade of Nations at the opening ceremony. This recognition comes as a testament to her achievements and her status as one of the Nigerian most prominent athletes on the global stage. In addition to Amusan's appointment, the Nigerian Olympic Committee has made another key selections for the country's Olympic team. The post further stated, in another appointment, the Nigerian Olympic Committee also announced badminton player Anu Oluwapo Opeyori as the general team captain for Nigeria in Paris. This appointment set the stage for the Nigerians' participation in the Paris 2024 Olympics. Still, you are watching news analysis live on Politics and Business TV. Still to come, Dangote Refinery under threats. When it rains, it pours. Mr. Wale Joshua, a chartered accountant and tax administrator, will be joining us in a moment to help us make sense of our today's topic. This and more after the break. Welcome back, and now let's discuss the trending topic that have been disturbing the Nigeria over the past few days. In the last couple of weeks, Dangote and his multi-billion-dollar refinery are in the eyes of the storm, from NNPC PLC, who has refused to sell him crude, to International Oil Company, who wants to sell crude to him 6 times higher than the international price, and not to forget the accusations that his products are substandard. An allegation the company has vehemently denounced. Accused of monopoly, Dangote has even offered to sell the refinery to NNPC PLC. It is on record that Dangote Refinery is the largest investment by a Nigerian in Nigeria, perhaps in our entire history. The investment is valued at $20 billion. The land purchase alone cost $100 million, with another $420 million spent on revamping and reconstruction of the swamp to make it viable for the construction of the refinery, which is close to ₦1 trillion in land preparation and pre-construction expenditure. A port had to be built to accommodate the size of the refinery's equipment and parts, including building a power plant with the capacity of supplying 1,500 megawatts of electricity. Also, a highway had to be constructed for delivery of equipment from the port to the refinery, along with development of 125 kilometers of pipeline. To ensure availability of the product at all times, the refinery is building a storage capacity to have almost 1 billion liters of petrol. The gains are far too numerous to mention. From FS gains to employment to ending scarcity and black marketing, there are far too many merits to these projects than the cries of monopoly and what have you. Would rather be monopolized by our own citizens than to continue to be dumping ground of oil dealers around the world that have made our country their cash cow, milking us as the place. It looks like Dangote's fuel will be cheaper, just like his diesel, and some dealers don't want that to happen. With those statements by the empire, investors are being pushed away. This and more as we focus on our today's topic, Dangote Refinery under threats. Joining us after the break is Mr. Wale Joshua, a chartered accountant and tax administrator, who will be discussing the topic. Stay tuned. Welcome back, With me, I have Mr. Wale Joshua, a chartered accountant and tax administrator. Good afternoon, Mr. Wale Joshua.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, fine, thank you.
So, I'm very sure you're familiar with the ongoing refinery crisis in the country.
Yeah.
So, I want to ask you, what are the problems associated with Dangote Refinery? Like the problems that are associated with his refinery, are they normal for startups, or there is more to this than meets the eye?
The challenges faced by Dangote Refinery is normal for any startup and equally more than normal for industries like that, because it's expected that industries like a refinery who has invested much money into that critical national assets would hit the ground running. It sells a needed product within the economy, which it's expected that the product will be bought to ease the problem bedeviled by the nation. So it's expected that the takeoff will be smooth and it will meet some needs. And in meeting these needs, the problem is not expected to be as gigantic as this. But not leaving out the fact that there are economics of oil, there are economics of supplies, and there are economics of marketing surrounding Dangote Refinery. So we have a lot of other factors which has to do with the supplies of crude. Supplies of crude, are we is it a mandatory obligation on the Nigeria Federation to supply Dangote crude? I believe that no. There was a rumor maybe 2 years ago that the federal government has 20% stake in Dangote Refinery. This could have qualified Dangote Refinery a constant supply of crude, which now turned to be a little below the truth. So the problem faced by Dangote Refinery is a little above normal.
So you made mention of Nigerian government it's not mandatory on them to supply crude oil to the refinery. But
Yes.
having in mind that this refinery is like the only working refinery in the country at the moment, are we not supposed to be proud of it and do all we can to supply crude oil to the refinery?
Yes, the political will is necessary to get this done. I will let you know, because the supply of crude it has its own challenges, which has to do with the forward sales, which has to do with a lot of factors like meeting the OPEC quota, then meeting what we need to supply our regular customers, and a lot of things surrounds that supplies of crude, and the agreement with the IOCs, which has their own off-takers, equally matters. The rate and speed at which Dangote was completed may not match the rate at which the length of time which the crude has been sold into international market through a forward agreement, whether with bilateral countries or multilateral loan facilitators. So we have a lot of things surrounding the refineries, which may be difficult to absorb. But the major part of it is the needed factor here is the political will. Where there is political will, all these factors will be solved. But in establishing any refinery, there is a quota given to any refinery, whether modular refinery or mega refinery like Dangote Refinery, to be supplied to them. I think 20% or so. So this if government doesn't meet this quota, it may not be enforceable on the part of the government. So Dangote Refinery needs to understand the politics that surrounds the petroleum industry, that surrounds the petroleum big players, to have a good play within the industry. So it has to do with the political will, and it has to do with bargainings. It has to do with bargaining within the oil economics. So bargaining with the IOCs and making sure that they have a buy-in in that stake. I wouldn't want to toe the line of some rumor that there is a need to give up some part of some part of Dangote Refinery's shares to make sure that there is a political will, and there is there is support from the international oil companies to support the sales of crude to Dangote Refinery. Be that as it may, I see it as competitor within the bourgeois, which has to do with many big players. Recently, Dangote told the public that there are some people holding oil assets outside the country. These oil assets, if they are to be serviced, the impact of Dangote Refinery has to be whistled down, so that it will continue to service their own interests. So this is a game of interests, and which you need to play around the big interests. The bigger the interest is, the stiffer there will be the opposition to Dangote Refinery's production and operations.
So like that makes it very clear why the refinery is being attacked by the local bodies. But I'm curious to know, why is it still being attacked by foreign bodies? Because some crude oil suppliers are refusing to supply crude oil to the refinery, even from outside Nigeria. Why is that so?
Like I told you earlier, there is an international dimension to this oil politics, whether in terms of supplies or whether in terms of the effect on other refineries and other oil markets. So if the heat is being felt so hard, the effect on supplies, the effect on the size and magnitude of Dangote Refinery, it's not expected that companies will not fight back, and they fight back in foreign currency, not in local currency. So if they can fight back and make sure that the source of energy, when I mean energy, I mean literary energy, to Dangote Refinery is quenched. If the source of its energy is quenched, which is the supplies of crude and possibly the demand for products from Dangote Refinery, if the energy is quenched, there will be enough room for profiteering within the other players. Dangote Refinery is not a minor when it comes to oil business in the world globally now, because most of where those other industries are supplying, which is African market, Asian market, most of these places are the target of Dangote refineries for its supplies and possibly for its product. So it's not less expected. It's expected that Dangote will face this. It's only been too early in the game. You can't enter into a market, you can't enter into a sphere, you can't enter into an industry without understanding the politics that run within the industry. So part of which is to shout out. If you can shout out and you get the buy-in of your own home country government, it will be very, very, very okay. We've seen industries, we've seen companies being supported by their own industry when they go outside the shores of their country. One of those countries are Chinese company. They get the support of their government. So much is being expected of this regime to support Dangote Refinery, and much is being expected of Dangote Refinery to play the politics behind the oil.
Okay, So one of the aims of the refinery is to make petrol much more available and always much more affordable and always available to Nigerians. Do you think this aim will be actualized if the refinery is left for the NNPC to run?
Definitely, the objective will be actualized. What I mean by the objective will be actualized is that Dangote is well metered. Dangote Refinery is they know what comes out of Dangote Refinery. All we need to do is to monitor what goes out of our borders. But in terms of import data collection, Dangote Refinery will be a top-notch supplier of data of supplies to the marketers, to the oil marketers within the country. So it will be good if Dangote can be supplying to either an MDC or the government in a controlled manner. So I believe that the weight of Dangote, the weight of supplies of Dangote Refinery will have an impact on the oil supplies in Nigeria, whether in terms of price or in terms of quantity, and the West Africa at large. So it's really a good one, but I'm not expecting Dangote Refinery to sell below the international oil price, because if Dangote Refinery gets its crude oil from countries outside Nigeria, I mean countries beside Nigeria, it will be difficult for Dangote Refinery to sell at lower price. And if Nigerian government is supplying to Dangote at below international oil price, it's necessary for the customs and immigration to control the borders so that our cheap fuel will not litter the shores of Africa like it did in the days of the subsidy of the intense subsidy scam which the government is trying to work against in this current dispensation. For in terms of price, Dangote Refinery will be a good one because it will reduce the cost of freight from either Asia or America in bringing the products into the shores of Nigeria and in getting it supplied. And equally, Dangote Refinery will reduce the cost of customs in terms of the supply chains. It will cut short the supply chains, and the gains will be for Nigeria. I believe that Dangote Refinery will have a great impact on both supplies and the price of oil products, especially in terms of the pressure on our demand for foreign currency, because at that time you pay in naira, not in foreign currency like dollars and pounds. So you pay in naira, which makes it a good gain for us. Ordinarily, we are gaining from the effect and impact of Dangote Refinery already. So what we need to do is to ensure that we don't export much of our crude. We process it before sending it to wherever the demands are coming from. That will give us the opportunity of gaining in all flanks, gaining in terms of petrochemical and other products, and that will make Nigeria a great nation.
So what, in your opinion, should be done to save the refinery and even the Nigerian economy at large?
Yes, this is where politics and economics meet. If there is any need to make sure that Dangote Refinery thrives, it's the meeting of politics and economics. In businesses like this, in big businesses like this, there is no way the effect of government will not be felt in Dangote Refinery. Dangote Refinery, the chairman came out, told us that the government has no impact, no input to construction of Dangote Refinery. But I will tell Alaji that may not be far from the truth, but is a little complete, because if government has not given enabling environment, it will be difficult for Dangote Refinery to build. We've had it on rumor that many other states, they rejected building of Dangote Refinery. So if government of the day has not given Dangote Refinery a good landing, a good support, it would not gain what it gained. So Dangote Refinery equally needs a good support in terms of the business. Now we are in business. How do we push our business to a good height? So it's left for Dangote Refinery to work with many other government agencies without dancing to the tune of corruption and without allowing the politics to dictate the pace of business for him. It will be good to ensure that Dangote has a stake in the government, and I know that Dangote, as it is, as Dangote Refinery as it is, would have a lot of good negotiators, a lot of good people that can bargain their ways into the buying of the government of the day in terms of crude supplies. Even if we have a huge forward sales, we can increase our production, our daily production. That makes it a little good for Dangote Refinery to look into the extractive industry, to look into the mining of the crude oil itself for the purpose of supplies of Dangote refineries. I really believe that Dangote can equally enter into agreement with many of these IOCs in order to in terms of supplies in terms of supplies of crude to Dangote Refinery, most especially the local extractive companies. So if we can do that, I know that we can the company can cross the bridge. Dangote has gotten the goodwill of Nigeria, and I believe that Nigerians are looking forward to having its products all over the country. It will be a pride for me to buy Dangote petrol into my car, and it will be a pride for me to have Dangote supplies in UK, in bigger countries. It will be a pride for me as a Nigerian. So I gain a lot. The government of the day gains a lot from ensuring that Dangote Refinery thrives, and I know that employment will be created, and many other things of benefits will accrue to the nation, whether in a faster pace or at a slow rate.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us on the program today.
Yeah, welcome.
And that has been Mr. Wale Joshua, a chartered accountant and a tax administrator. That will be the size of our program for today. I am Amina Idris, signing out.